Hello and welcome to the Thermo Gourmand Kitchen. My name is Megan Tuffley and I am a Thermomix consultant here in beautiful south coast of Albany. Now I'm hoping that live started when I was speaking. You may have missed that. Welcome to the Thermo Gourmand Kitchen was what I said, and my name is Megan Tuffley and I am a Thermomix consultant down here on the beautiful south coast of Western Australia. And I have customers all over Western Australia as well as in other states and a territory as well. So I can be a virtual consultant as well as online. Today I am going to be making some butter, and I'm going to extend that butter and make a beautiful herb and garlic pull apart. Now the reason I chose butter is because I looked in my freezer the other day and I had masses of cream that had been discounted and I'd thrown in the freezer. For example, look at that. 600 mils of cream for $2.12. Now out of this, I'm going to be making around about 250 grams of butter, and as well as that, the leftover buttermilk from the butter that I can use in my loaf of bread. How good is that? Okay, well let's get started. Now herb and garlic butter is fantastic, but you can also make other types of butters. So imagine if you added maple syrup to this because it's unsalted, and then pop that on your pancakes. Yum. Oh, turn back on again. It goes off after 15 minutes to save power. And what else? You could put chili, and you could do a beautiful steak one with Worcestershire sauce and mustard. You could do honey and butter as well, or golden syrup and butter for crumpets. And if you've ever made crumpets, that is so much fun. I did it the other day in my Thermomix. It's a really good thing to do. There's a recipe on Cookie Dough. What else? Let's turn you on properly, thank you. Yes, savoury butters. Obviously, say Parmesan. You could put Parmesan cheese in. Let me think what else. I think I wrote some down. Oh, chili, lime and coriander. Yum, yum. And if you're putting Parmesan, some sun-dried tomato, that would be brilliant. And you could even put berries, frozen berries in to make a berry butter to put on pancakes or waffles. Yum. Okay, let's get started. We've connected to Cookie Dough. So I'm going to the herb and garlic pull apart recipe on Cookie Dough. I'm going to do the butter part, but I'm not going to do the bread part. I make a different loaf. I'll show you that right now. See, I make scrolls in my beautiful rose gold. What is it? My rose gold tin with the base. So springform tin, of course, is what I'm thinking of. Okay. So that is just so yum. And I've picked it up now. I've got butter all over me, but I've got my apron on, so that's okay. It does need a wash. All right, so we're going to go to our hamburger menu, which is the 3 lines, and we're going to my week, and we've got the herb and garlic pull apart. Start cooking. Tap in 1 garlic clove. I'm going to put 2 in because we love our garlic. Next, I'm usually the other way around, so this is a bit odd for me. I've usually got my video sauce here and my Thermomix the other way, so it's all a bit back to front. 5 sprigs of fresh dill. Well, I'm not using dill or basil or anything else. I'm just using parsley. I mean, we love garlic and parsley together, and of course the parsley takes out that garlic breath, doesn't it? So I've just got a heap of parsley out of my garden. I've got loads growing. Once you've got parsley, you've got parsley forever. It's growing in the cracks of the paving. Not that I mind, because I've got loads of it. And you know, if you chop parsley up in your Thermomix and pop it in the fridge, just in a container without a lid, it'll last for a couple of weeks. It kind of just sort of freeze dries or fridge dries, I suppose, and you can continue to use it. It's wonderful. And it chops so easily in the Thermomix. You do not have to chop it by hand. Next, now because I'm not doing any of this, I'm going to the 3 little dots next to the next button. And I'm going to recipe detail. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going straight to this part. Oh no, because it's not separate. Generally, I could go straight to the next step, but because all the herbs and everything is in the single step, I can't do that today. Alright, so I've got my measuring cup in. Now we're going around to speed 7 for 3 seconds. Quick as that. And another couple of seconds to wait for it to open. Look at that chopped garlic. Isn't that awesome? Herb and garlic, parsley and garlic. Next, we're going to scrape down. Oh gosh, it smells gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, I have got some dough rising, so I'm not going to actually make the dough today. That's very, very simple in the Thermomix. Just follow the steps. My dough is a little bit different from the cookie dough one, but I will pop that recipe up on my blog so you can access that later. Keep an eye out on my Thermo Gourmand Facebook page for the link. Next, we're going to pop the butterfly whisk in. Make sure that it's stable, and next we're going to add the cream. Now, it's recommended that you do use whipping cream, not thickened cream. Thickened cream has added gelatin, etc. Now, it may not make a great deal of difference, but if you're having trouble making butter, it could be because you're using thickened cream. I haven't tried it with UHT cream. I'm not sure if that would work. But you can't get that really discount anyway, so it's probably not worth it. It's been frozen, so it's all gluggy. You're going to have to really give it a good old scrape down to get all the bits out. There's a few little bits there. I probably need a different spatula. It's not quite 600. There's a few little bits in there, but I'm not worried about that. That is fine. Oops, that fall over. And next, all done, measuring cup, and then turn to speed 4. Okay, I'm going a bit slowly so it doesn't go up in the bowl. It will anyway once I get to speed 4. And never go past speed 4 with the butterfly, because it will come off and get chopped up. I don't want that to happen. So this could take a minute, 2 minutes, it depends on your cream. You will hear it when it starts to separate. That beautiful buttermilk can be used, you can freeze it and use it later. Ooh, starting to do things. Make buttermilk scones. I might scrape you down. Let's see, because it'll be all on the lid. Oh, it's just making beautiful whipped cream at the moment. That's all right. I'll scrape you down. It's actually made gorgeous whipped cream. I'll just show you. Look. But we don't want herb and garlic whipped cream. We want herb and garlic butter, please. So we'll keep going, and it's going to need more than 16 seconds. There it goes. Thinking about it. Right. Because my husband's ringing me, isn't he? Don't think that's ready yet. No, but it's getting there. All depends how fresh the cream is, whether it's been frozen or not. So we'll just go back and do it again till it's ready. I can hear it doing it now. Making noises. Getting there. Goodness, it's taking longer than normal. The one I made this morning took about 40 seconds. It says up to 2 minutes is what's down here. Whipping for a long time by up to 2 minutes if necessary until the solids and the liquid separate. It's still not doing it. Isn't that typical? I'm going to make it keep going, come on. You know, sometimes when you go on whipped cream and next thing it's butter. Not today, of course. And we're going to use our basket to do the straining. Show you a neat little trick that I learnt. Oh, there we go. Finally, here it is. You can hear it, can't you? Yeah, neat little trick that I learnt from one of my colleagues, John. He's the expert butter maker. Oh, dearie me, that took ages. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to scrape down and go again because I just want all that cream to be in there. It has finally separated, but I'll just give it another whiz. Do make sure once it's separated that you put the MC on because that buttermilk is going to, hang on, I won't worry about time, I'll just do it for a couple of seconds. That buttermilk's going to shoot up. Alright, that's it. Beautiful. Ready? Come on, come on, come on. Okay, there we go. It has finally separated. Yep. So we take the butterfly out, it will give you those instructions. Remove the butterfly whisk, tap it gently to get the butter off. Just pop that in the sink. And this little trick is great. So insert the basket, and the basket will act as a sieve. And just cross out these annoying things that Facebook keep doing. Turn it down and I'll show you. So using the basket, I'm pouring the buttermilk out. Oh, a bit of butter came out then because it was on the edge of the bowl. Just put that here and hold the basket and look. Now of course this buttermilk is green because of the parsley. This buttermilk we're using in the bread. We would not use this for anything else. Alright, and now we've got our solids left in here. Now another trick that John told me is to press the butter solids against the edge of the bowl. And you can see how that's bringing some more buttermilk out from the butter. There we go. And I'll do another strain. See, we've got a little bit extra. Now we're going to wash the butter, and all these instructions are on cookie dough, so you don't really have to think too hard about it. Just move it back around. There it is. We'll come back up. Pop it on. Next, right, use a simmering basket to strain the liquid and 500 grams of chilled water. So what I do, if I haven't got really cold water, I just pop some ice cubes in. And if the ice cubes are still solid, I pop the basket in and pour through the basket so that the ice cubes don't go in. So 500 grams, because we're going to wash the buttermilk out of the butter. Because it's cold, the butter won't, it won't emulsify with the water. It's icy cold. And the reason we have to get all the buttermilk out is that's the part that goes rancid. Not the actual butter fat. It's the buttermilk, so we need to take as much out as we can. Normally I wouldn't bother making this bread. We're just going to use the butter and the buttermilk anyway. But for the purposes of making butter, I will show you. Alright, add the butter solids. Well, I didn't take them out, because normally it's asking you to pour it into the basket, into a container, but so much better just to put the basket in and use that as the strainer. Next, insert the measuring cup. Next, and we're going to speed for just for 5 seconds. Just a lovely cup of tea while I'm watching. Now, this time, I'm not going to waste that extra water because I'm going to use that in the dough. It does tell me what to do. Use the simmering basket so that only to strain it out so that only the herb butter remains. And there we go again. I'll just turn you down so you can see what's happening. So just the basket like that. There we go. And it's all coming out, all that luscious, herby, garlicky liquid. Now when I'm making butter, I do one more step. And I'll show you that right now. So I'll pop that away. Show you what's left. Beautiful herb butter. I use chucks, and this is the bamboo chucks that's biodegradable or compostable or something, and I tip my solids out, wiggle the lid, get them all out, there's none left, and I bring this up and just strain it, squeeze it back into the bowl. Getting as much of that liquid out as possible, because we want butter, not watery butter. So there's a little bit more came out. Okay, now we've got our beautiful butter. Now what I normally do is take my butter out and pop it onto baking paper. You could use plastic wrap. And I shape it into a log. It's actually easier with plastic wrap to shape it into a log. And roll it up, twist in opposite directions, and there you have your beautiful butter, your herb butter. You could freeze that, slice it into bits and put it on your steak. I have got some here. This is just the regular unsalted butter, and I used half of that in a recipe today. Okay, so now let's get on with the next part. I'll just pop these away, out of the way and in the, there we go. So now we're going on to our bread. Now I've already made the bread dough, and I really wanted to make it earlier, but I didn't get a chance because I ran out of bread flour. So I had to dash down and get some, and it's not my normal bread flour. I actually bought this from Woolies. It's the Wallaby one. It is good, it's beautiful, but I do prefer to get the Miller's because it is made from local wheat. It comes from Byford, and I can get it from a local store, which is a little bit far away from me. You know, I was in a rush. So what I did was I made my dough and I put it in my, I'll just go and get it. Whoa, it looks great. I put it in my white thermo server. That's the host reward. This isn't available in the mix shop. You have to have a demo to get one of these. And I put it on fermentation mode. I reduced the temperature to 55. Because fermentation mode on the TM6, the blades go around a little bit and then they stop. And you can make yogurt overnight in this. But look, this made my dough rise beautifully. Amazing. Put you aside, get my beautiful mat, and we'll pop you down again. And we've got our gorgeous mat. This is a host reward as well. And of course, this month's host reward, while I'm here, is the glider board, where you can move your Thermomix safely. When it's down, it's stable, it does not budge, so it protects the scales. But if you need to move it, you just lift it and slide it. It is fantastic, and that is this month's host reward. You can get it for $50 instead of $150, just for having two friends. And I think we've got somebody here today who has done that. I can't see comments, so I can't tell whether Sandy has brought her two friends along, but I hope they did come. Look at that gorgeous dough. You can always tell when dough's ready, when it's had its first proof, if the indents stay. If they pop back up again, it's not ready to move. It's just going to keep shrinking. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. This is a super, super soft dough. So it is going to be a little bit tricky to play with. It is, gosh, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So what I'm doing is pressing it out. You could roll it, but it's just as easy to press it into a rectangle. And I think that's 28 centimeters, is it? Yep, 28 centimeters. It's a bit uneven because I'm just pressing and not rolling, but that's okay. Then we get our gorgeous butter, which was probably a little bit hard because it was the cold water went in. So normally I'd soften this butter, but for the purposes of our Facebook Live, I will simply crack on. Now I'm going to put dots of butter all over this. So I'll just break it up, use my fingers and dot the butter all around. Now, of course, you could do cinnamon butter, and you could then make beautiful cinnamon scrolls. That would be amazing. You could add a little bit of sweetener and some cinnamon. So keep going, and as I'm pushing this off, I'm softening a little bit with my fingers. So, I mean, how easy is this? It's just incredible. I'll pop the recipe for the bread dough on my blog, which is, of course, Thermo Gourmand. Now, I don't usually use a lot more of this, so I'm going to keep going. And how cheap is this butter? $2.12 for the butter and the buttermilk. And as I said, buttermilk's scones. Buttermilk's really healthy as well, just to drink. You could put it in your smoothie. It's different from your commercial buttermilk that has other additives and it's been fermented. You could ferment your buttermilk as well, so it's not as thick as regular buttermilk. Buttermilk can be hard to find too, so I like the fact that I can make my own, and I just freeze it in flat pack Ziploc bags. Labelled, of course, be sure to label. Now that is going to be a bit hard to spread, so I'm actually not even going to bother. Normally I would spread this out, but what I'm going to do is just make sure that all the dough is covered with butter. And I will be rolling it up, and I'll show you my special trick for cutting scrolls when your dough is super soft. Now, having super soft dough means you're going to have super soft bread. So we have quite a high hydration of liquid to flour. And if you want to learn more about hydration, go to my link tree, which I have linked on my Facebook page, and scroll down and you'll find a link for my beautiful bread making book. You can download my bread making book for free and make your own bread. It is full of hints and tips and recipes. Now, I made a beautiful bread the other day. I decided I'm not going to make a fussy bread. I just wanted to make a really, really simple one. And I think it's actually the best bread I've ever made. And the grumpy one, aka my husband, actually said it was nice. Yeah, nice. That is really, really amazing. Okay, so spread it out a little bit more. You could actually measure it if you like. I think that's almost 30 centimetres. Depending what tin you're using. I'm just going to grab my little tin again. I can fit about 10 in here, 10 of the scrolls. Depends what you're using as to how many you make. Now I use good old dental floss to cut my scrolls. If the dough is really soft, it might not slide under, so you just need to kind of lift it up. And I make them about 2 centimetres. Okay, lift and twist. And the first one's going to be weird, and they normally wouldn't look like that. They'd normally be all circular with beautiful herb butter. But we've got lumps of herb butter today. We'll see how that goes. Whoop. And we just pop them in here, and I'll pop them next to each other because I want them to rise up, not out. Okay, so away we go, keep going until we've got a good, oh, it's a bit slippery, good number. Okay, so close to each other, like that, couple in the middle, and away you go. I'll do those later. And we bake that for 40 minutes, around about 40, depending on your oven. I actually baked that at too high a heat, the one I made earlier. I forgot that I've got a beautiful new oven, and I don't need to put it on 200 to get 180. So it is quite dark. It's still beautiful, it's still lovely and soft and delicious. As you see, I've eaten one. But it's 180 for about 40 minutes, okay? 35 to 40. Just have a look, check to see if it's browning too much, turn the oven down. If it's looking too pale, turn the oven up a little bit. So look after about 15 to 20 minutes and see what's happening. Then you've got your gorgeous scrolls, and you can munch on those while they're still warm, which I did today. So, okay, well, I'll be making another lot of dough now with my beautiful herb and garlic buttermilk. We're going to have this coming out of our ears. But what I might do this time, instead of making scrolls, is I'll follow the pull apart method, which is here if we want to go to the recipe detail. And it will make this, we make this folded sort of concertina style. So we make strips, concertina them, pop them in the tray and bake it the same way. Well, thank you for watching. Now, next week, I am going to start doing my lives, my Facebook lives, on a Thursday. Thursday is going to work really well. I haven't been able to do Thursdays up till now, and probably at about 5 o'clock. So I hope that suits more people. and I'd like to be able to see more people join us on our Facebook Live. I will also post this video on YouTube with all the instructions, so you can watch it at your leisure at any time. And of course, this live will be on my Facebook page as well. If you are thinking of getting a TM6 on your bench, and why wouldn't you? They're fantastic. The guided cooking is a game changer. Please reach out to me. At the moment, we have 36 months interest free. So that's $16.97 a week. Of course, there are T&Cs involved in that, but you can go on the Thermomix website, or I can send you a link if you are interested, and you can pay it off over that 3 years. And of course, you'll be saving money. You'll be saving so much money. For example, making your own dough, making your own bread, making your own pizza dough, and it's so much fun, and the family get involved as well. I just can't imagine what life would be like without my TM6. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and do reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to know more about getting a Thermomix on your bench.
Once the dough has proved, roll or press it out to around 28 centimetres. Then dot the softened butter over and spread it to cover the dough. Roll up carefully and cut it into about 10 pieces with dental floss or fishing line. Place the scrolls into a 23 centimetre round pan and allow it to prove for about an hour and a half. Bake at 180 degrees centigrade for around 35 minutes. Turn out onto a wire rack to cool.
Thank you for watching my YouTube video. I hope you enjoy making butter and in your Thermomix and making scrolls. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also head to my Facebook page, Thermo Gourmand, and my recipe blog, again, thermogourmand.com.au. If you need any help with your Thermomix, I'm here to help you. So don't hesitate to ask.